Previously on Night Shift Customs.
We're gonna go to a TREMEC 5-speed. The exhaust is in the way. Well, I don't like how this is going. I can't get the trans on there. Scary! So, plan B. And it fits on there, but it's tight. Sorry, camera died there for a minute without me realizing. Alright, so bell housing's on. Trans is halfway in there, and we're gonna see if we can get this thing to go on this time. I double checked to make sure our bell housing of course fits now. It did fit, but it is an extremely tight fit. I don't know if you could just slide that on there like that. Maybe after you already had it on there, I don't know. Anyways, double checked our clutch engagement with our little clutch liner, and now I'm gonna try to stab this in there without blowing my back out. Stuck once again. I need to let the motor down some. Well, we're damn close. Hello?
Hey, what are you doing?
Dying? This is where I'm to. It is... Let's try this out. Right there. See that alignment pin? Right there. That's the gap. That's all I need. And that's all I need. But for some reason, it's not letting me do that. Passenger side is even closer. I could put the bolts in. I don't like to do that though. I just tighten it down just a little bit. I don't want to. You can crack bell housings, you can screw up all kinds of stuff. Forcing it on. I don't know if I'm actually forcing it on or not, because it's right there. That's it. Oh my Lord. Have you ever seen such a struggle? You know what? I should charge DR double. The reason I did that by hand is I just wanted to be able to feel how hard the pressure was. If there was a problem with throb or pilot bushing or something like that, I don't want to run it on with the impact or something like that, because I wouldn't be able to feel the pressure. With a good old ratchet, I can feel it. Alright. My God. I don't suggest this. You should take it to someone you hate. I'm going to tighten up these other bolts around the bell housing. See if we can't jack up the trans enough to put the cross member in there so it's secure. And I'm going to take a break. Alright, bell housing bolts are in. We're gonna take the trans up. Be mindful if you about putting pressure on the car like this. You don't want to be pushing up further on the car than the lift is. We're gonna now see if we can get this cross member in here. Cross member has some adjustment in it. This is our cross member that's supposedly made for the car. Has these pieces on here, slide, so it'd fit a variety of vehicles for a couple of different transes. Once again, our exhaust is going to be in the way, but I want to try to slide this in here. Shifter's hitting the floor. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark where the shifter boot's hitting. Has a little dust boot on there, so you can kind of see where it's hitting the floor there. The rest of above the trans here we have room, but right here it's hitting. It's not going to let that shifter go on at any rate. It can go down. This little guy here can move down that position, but you can see this part of it goes right here, and it's still not going to let that happen. So I think we might need to go to that lower position and cut out some of that floor. You know, the trans could be off a little bit, or this way, but I don't think it's off that much to where we're not going to have to cut that out. So I'm going to get my little soapstone here and try to make a mark. And when I drop this down, I'll try to connect the dots there. Oh, mercy. I'm gonna try to cut this without getting nothing in my eyes or my ears. Might do it. I saw it's kind of falling apart. Let's try it a little bit more. The anticipation is killing me. Freaking close, I don't know. Went up a lot further. I can barely get my hand in there, so I think that's touching something. Let's try a cross member. Okay, got the trans up in there, got our cross member to where it's gonna clear and whatnot. Need to get the bolts in here and see what we got to do here. Might need to move the trans over a little. It might not be center, maybe it is, not sure. So get some of these bolts in the cross member and set her down on it and see what it looks like. Alright, I'm gonna let it down onto our new cross member. She's holding herself. So, cross member in, you can kind of see we're not quite lined up with our bolt holes there. That's alright. There is, you know, the motor mounts and stuff are going to try to pull it one side or the other. That's a simple matter of just prying over the trans with a little pry bar. It's not much pressure. Although we are starting to interfere with our, let's see if I can get a view of it here. Our plug is starting to hit that metal right there for our cross member. But as you can see, according to the trans there, we are a little askew. The slots for those bolts are there, so we can move this a little bit, and so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to kind of slide it forward a little bit. Hopefully we can get enough room there to get the plug onto the sensor there for our speedometer, which they aren't really taken into account here with this kit because this is an autometer speedometer, you know, it's not factory gig. So just going to loosen up some bolts, kind of shuffle some things around, and hopefully we'll find a kind of happy medium here for everything. Compressor's not liking life. I don't know what it's doing over there. I built that monster, I don't know how many years ago now. 1947 Navy tank off a battleship. Compressor is a 1962 Quincy, and the electric motor is a 7 horsepower single phase. And when it's cold, which I'm talking southern Utah cold, so when it's 34, 32, and that thing does not like moving. Like me. It's a lot like me. So, just got our drive line back from Lee. Nice job as always. They had to change out the front U-joint holder on the drive line to match this. They could use a conversion joint, but it just makes it easier the next time you need to change the U-joint. It's a little easier to find the U-joint instead of having to find a conversion U-joint. It's shortened, new U-joint put in the rear, and rebalanced. So now we're gonna put this up in there and then get our fluid in. To get our fluid in, I didn't have this little tool. I'd like to have a better quality one, but this was from O'Reilly, and it just screws on to the lid of your oil, and you can pump it up in there. You're going to pump it up in there until it comes out the overflow. The fluid, this is what they suggested with it. It's just Dex 3. A lot of the later manual transmissions will be using just a Dex 3, even though it is automatic trans fluid. The newer Chevy Trans, that's what they're using. Manual Trans, that's what they're using. Looks like he's got 2 brands here. This is usually what I use, but anything by Driven is top notch. I do not like this exhaust. Keeps on f***ing with my life. Alright, got our drive line in and tightened down. It's now resting on one muffler, it looks like. Probably holding up the pressure of the whole rear diff. That looks pretty good as far as the, what do you call it? We'll call it insertion for fun, because insertion is a fun word. So you can see here's our drain, here's our fill. Say hello, Phil. Hello. Our pump with our hose screws onto 2 different styles of lids if you had the gallon or the quart. Insert hose. There's our insertion word again. We'll call that the word of the day. Now, look at her go. There she is. Now you can see it leak out. Alright, so we got the Camaro ready to leave. Our shifter location turned out really good. We did end up using, they suggested the 1-inch back on that. That didn't work on this. We did the 2 1/4. And then I also leaned the stick back a little bit, because when you went into first here, you're hitting the dash. And so I think I gave just a nice medium kind of spot here. Camaro's always kind of had that tilt to the driver's side, more of a race type feel. Original 79 4-speed T-top Z28, and cool owner. He should be really happy with it. Neat piece of history, kind of really coming around these days on something that you just don't see, you know, especially in this condition. Anyways, that's it on this one, and on to the next.
Camaro, Camaro. Hey man, where you headed?